We begin on Thursday night at the Gabba between Brisbane and Richmond, 6th versus 7th. The Lions might not be going in as favourites despite a home final and their, stake for the premiership earlier in the year. Tigers have been in ripping form in recent weeks, and that included a thrilling comeback win over the Lions at the MCG not that long ago. The Tigers, though, big in Dustin Martin, likely to play for Damien Hardwick's side this week. We know what he does come September, and it could just be what tilts the Tigers over the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you mentioned that game, Richmond coming back from about 42 points down or around there, I believe, and got Brisbane. And, I mean, you look at their form at the Gabba over recent years, I think they've won 12 of their last 14 at the Gabba, and Brisbane in big finals at the Gabba have struggled over recent years, and there's talk about whether this is their last chance, whether it's kind of all in now. It's probably the same for Richmond, all in. They've primed Dusty for finals. I think they knew from a while that they'd probably be able to get by without him. Shai Bolton stepped up incredibly in Martin's absence, and now he's back for finals. Jack Graham may be another one that comes back as well, and he'd be incredibly handy. He's got a great finals record. I mean, it does kind of start to paint the picture that Richmond, they'd fancy themselves here. I mean, Brisbane have seemingly been the better side over the course of the season, but it doesn't seem to be going their way at the moment. Marcus Adams now ruled out for the season with an ongoing concussion issue. It seems that everything's starting to fall the way of Richmond. Brisbane are starting to get a few cards dealt against them. They haven't dealt with that well at all throughout the season and in past finals.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Chris Fagan's certainly going to have to run a few changes for this one. You mentioned Marcus Adams hasn't featured in the last few weeks for them since that blow against the Blues, but also they've lost Cam Rayner and Noah Ainsworth through suspension following their round 23 loss to the D's. That's just added collateral to their looming issues. And then on top of that, who do they bring in? Who's really ready for them? I think Callum Archie is really the only one that's coming back from injury or suspension, and he's been battling concussion as well. So he'll come in, and there's certainly opportunities there for the likes of Mitch Robinson, Ryan Lester, these kind of guys who've been around the club for a while to take their opportunity. They're on the fringe still, despite being there for several years, and big stage for them. And then, as we mentioned, Dustin Martin, huge. Not talking Norm Smith medals yet, but I think he's going to have some competition with Shai Bolton set to probably be the leading man for the Tigers, and what that means for Richmond as well, and their structure. We'll probably see Shai in the midfield and maybe Dusty more forward time, and that's really just going to sharpen the spear for the Tigers with what they've already got. You can say Tom Lynch is the most informed forward at the moment. They've got Jack Riewoldt, Noel Cumberland's been fantastic, and I think is expected to overcome a leg issue that might have scared a few Tigers fans last week. And then you add in the likes of Maurice Rell and his pressure, some of the midfielders that can rotate through half forward as well, and it's going to be really dangerous, particularly with Marcus Adams out. So I think the Tigers are getting up in this one. Are you tipping? Yeah,
I'll be tipping Richard. I think you mentioned a name there that we know Rayner's suspended, but I think Ainsworth's the one that they'll feel the most. I'm probably a little bit biased. He's also a Caulfield Bears boy, so I'm probably a little biased towards Noah Ainsworth. But you mentioned those Richmond forwards, that mid-sized, quick forward, that's his domain. And with him missing, Starstreak is going to have to step up. And all of a sudden they start trying to fill holes that they maybe won't be able to down back. So I think the Tigers will get it done pretty comfortably.
Yeah, I think that balance of Brisbane's lacking back line and Richmond's increased forward line is certainly going to be where it's decided. And I'm leaning towards the Tigers as well.